Alright, I think 6 minutes is enough. Don't you? So hey, here I am. It's me, your friend, Wynne Blue. Let me fix a couple of things in my layout. There we go. Fred got spooked, so... Oh, there she is. That's a good dog. Good girl, Freddie. Alright, so let me turn down my background tunes. I'm still going to turn it up in a little bit, but I just want to make sure that I have everything I need. I was thinking about drawing something else tonight, but I realized that if I was to do anything else, it might not turn out right because my head's not quite in the headspace for making new art, you know? Plus, I'm still super confused about streaming on YouTube. I have weird errors on my screen about YouTube, but when I look at it, you know, to monitor it, it's fine. Plus, anybody who swings by, they don't say, "Hey, your video quality is not quite up to snuff, lady." I appreciate them not wanting to hurt my feelings, but at this point in time, I'm feeling pretty Teflon right now. Anyway, for those of you on the replay, my name is Wynne Blue. I'm an artist and musician out of Seattle, Washington. Unless you are a purist, then I am in Bothell. Look it up. It's not that bad. So, I need to get set up. I have my painting here. I have most of my lighting figured out. I'll tell you a little bit about my day. Yeah, I'm having moments, little moments of thought. I know it's a very dangerous pastime, but I think I can handle it. Small doses, baby steps. All right. Changing the camera now. And first, we're going to run over to good little visit with Fred. Hey, Freddie, how are you? Good girl, Freddie. Yeah, she's a cute little dog. She will be 10 years old on Monday. All right, I did say I was going to change cameras. Coming back here is not what I wanted to click on. So give me a minute. Oh, more Freddie pictures. We don't want that. I mean, we do, but let's see. I gotta move Freddie out of the way here. She's supposed to be covering up my keyboard. Okay, so early on, there were a bunch of these. I don't want to work on these today. This is great, but it's not what I want to work on today. I think what I want to work on are the stars up in the top. And I'm going to get myself a white pencil just to give myself an idea of where I want to put my highlights for these stars. Oh, not the right one. Well, that's weird. I have two of these. And they are usually right next to each other. This is a little distressing. I'm a little concerned about this. So I'm looking around. All right, it looks like I'm going to have to get out of my seat. Looking over at my drawing table, and I'm seeing nothing. Okay, so I'm going to step away for a second. So give me, I'm not very far away from my things, but I am going to definitely be right back, like 60 seconds. Here it is. I panicked there for a minute. Guess where it was? 2 segments over from the last one. Okay. And of course the white one's not in here. And I panicked for nothing. Wynne, you so crazy. I'm just going to turn the music up just a little bit. Please adjust your sound systems accordingly. this side. Not just my light, but the light in the picture. And you can't really see too well. Let's see if I can get this up here. You can't really see too much detail in this reference picture. So I might have to look it up and double check. Now, I know you can't see this, but I can. So let's put the camera a little closer on the detail. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get a close-up of this. Yeah, everything's super shiny. But what I've done is I've put some pencil marks, very faint, right along where the metal would bend, because this particular element of the room is one of those metal nautical stars. It's pretty nice, actually. And I'm going to see if I can find this picture. Because this picture was taken easily a couple of years ago, if not more. Yeah, this is going to take a little. I should hand my phone to my husband, but I don't really want him going through all this stuff. going through all of these pictures. All of these selfies, because I do a lot of work where I need to look at my own face because I'm drawing myself as part of the picture. Come on. I'm trying to think of how long ago was it that I took this picture. Oh, come on. Lots of pictures of the animals, though. Well, this is frustrating. How many pictures do I need of my dog, anyway? Apparently, I need a lot. I need a lot of pictures of my dog. I'm sorry, this is very frustrating for me. I'm usually pretty good at keeping track of all of my art. I guess I'm gonna have to find another reference. That's very sad. Damn it. I was really hoping I had something there. Okay. So instead I'm going to look up something else. So if you happen to be out there and looking for pictures of nautical stars, oh, there we go. Okay, I have my reference, and now I'm going to deal with it. So let's get the paint. We're not doing this without an apron, I'm sorry. I've learned that one several times the hard way. So these stars, and I don't think my light is quite where I want it to be. So I've got myself some alizarin crimson. Let me see if I can get more light, general light here. All right, here we go. We have our alizarin crimson. I'm going to look and see if I have some other reds and browns that I can work with. I have my burnt sienna. I have a crimson, but I think it might be a little too loud. What do you think? I also have a raw sienna, so I'm going to put crimson away. All right, so I'm going to work with these, add a little bit of red to them, make sure I got the right thing. And then I'm going to put it in my Stay Wet palette because I want to make sure I have the right color. All right, according to my dashboard for my Twitch viewers, I have an ad break starting in about a minute or so. Stick around, get yourself some water, take a stretch. If you got doggies or kitties, give them a scritch. Maybe let them out. You can do that in 2.5 minutes, right? Yeah, we're looking for this color right here. is a blorp, you say? Where you put too much damn paint on your palette. Okay, so I went ahead and I put the Naphthol Crimson on the board because I wanted it to stay warm, and although this one looks like it belongs, let's see, I got stuck behind the dog. There's something about it. So I'm going to try different mixtures of this and see what happens. Doesn't quite match. But we're going to keep trying. That's close, but it's a little too light. But see, the thing is that I want it to be light. I want it to be lighter than what's on the page right now, or on the canvas. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit. Where's my picture? And I really wish, gosh, I'm so unprepared today. This is around the same color as the frame here. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you know that I say, don't lighten things with white. And I'm not going to. I'm going to see if that bright yellow actually works. Actually, no, this is cadmium. It's not as bright as the other stuff we were using. But we're using it for a different part of the, we're using it for a different element of the composition. And we are using it for mixing, which is a difference. You know, I had this bright yellow, which is nothing like what this is. It's a little brighter, it's a little purer, but we're not gonna use the bright yellow. Not necessary. is quite a bit lighter, but it's also a little too orangey. Not as deep a maroon as I had kind of hoped. I'm going to wipe away some of this so we can see the color a little clearer. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it would be the right thing. So I'm going to try an experiment. And y'all are going to eat me alive after everything that I said about not mixing with white. When we look at the color wheel on this, I'm wondering if I'm looking at this all wrong. Let me turn down my infinite. There we go. Turning it down a little bit so I can think. What is the opposite on the color wheel of brown? I'm going to use it. This is it. Now, after all the space that we used to mix this, can you see why I didn't mix it in the Stay Wet palette? There's just a bunch of experimentation going on here that didn't need to do that whole spread itself out and take up all the room. Yes, I could get a new piece of paper for my palette, but I did not want to. So I'm going to bring back the canvas right after I put this new color into my palette. All right, so there we are. And now I'm going to put this in a place where I will probably put my elbow in it later. And I have to think about this carefully because when I first started this painting, I put it on an easel, but people couldn't see it very well. And I thought that was annoying, honestly. So here we are. Camera angle is everything, my friends, everything. And yes, it is upside down on my desk so that I can actually see what I'm doing. All right. And the light is coming from here. There are windows over here. So let me get a little something. Go, Wynne. Man, where did my other angled one go? This is great. It's a great shape. It's a well-maintained brush, but I wanted the smaller one. I have a smaller one around here somewhere. I could have used this while I was searching for those colored pencils. Yeah, my angled one isn't in here. It's very frustrating. Yep, I'm going to use that one instead. I've made. What a mess. You ever put down something and then you forget where it is? I had it. Now the only reason I'm adding some mixing white to this is that I want to put this down in as thin a layer as I can. And if the thin layer doesn't brighten up anything, then I might need a lighter color to brighten it up with. I might need some tape. I hope I don't need tape. Why does it say I'm streaming music? I gotta change this. Been here for an hour. No art lovers. Come on, make it art. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's going to brighten it up a little bit, so I'm going to add some white. Not quite the effect I was going for. This means I put too much paint on my brush. of the things that I'm doing that might not seem apparent is layers of paint are sometimes a lot more effective than just adding paint directly to the canvas. And, you know, in hindsight, I probably should have started light and gone dark, but I wasn't thinking of that at the time. So let's see if I can find a skinny brush. I'm going to make mistakes on this. I can pretty much feel it already. Bear with me as I make sure that the camera is where it needs to be. Because if I push my brush too far, my paint too far away, I'm not going to be able to actually do anything with it. So. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but from where I'm sitting, I have two kind of light things that I've done with the whitened paint. And then this one, which is just this monstrosity right here. I think I like straight from the monstrosity. with just a little bit of white. Mixed in with this medium, which turns it kind of into a somewhat translucent glaze. One of the things I like about these intimate streams is that I have a great excuse to work on something creative at least once a week. I know for sure that I have dedicated create time. Just like on Mondays, I have dedicated music time. It's kind of nice. How'd your stream go, Wynne? Oh, I had like a billion people. They were all talking at once. It was great. Now that's kind of bright. always go over it a little bit later. Remember how I said going from light to dark probably would have been a little wiser? Well, this is kind of what I'm talking about. I can always go over the light parts with more dark and it would be effective. Ooh. That's very soft, and I hope that it dries just a little softer than it started. All right, moving on to the next star. Which doesn't have really good light. Ah. Doesn't look like brightness is going to help. Are you all seeing the same glitch that I am that pops up every few minutes? Yeah, you're probably not going to get to see that very much, but we're going to try. It's so shiny. It's a little frustrating trying to get some sort of change on here. because I know the paint's going on. But is it? Yeah, you can't see that much either. It's not as bright as the other star. Yep, got a little bit too goopy. Well, this is frustrating. I feel like you should be able to see what I've got on my screen, what I've got in front of me. And you can't see it very well. That's just really, really freaking frustrating for me. Go get it, Fred. Go get it. Go get it, Freddy. Go get it. Go get it. All right, it was time for her meds. Apologies to dogs everywhere who had to hear that. I'm going to try one more time to see if I can get some decent light on that. Man, I wish I could see that better. Let's get closer. Maybe that'll help. Think that helps? Yeah, just a little. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes turning a light off is exactly what you need. Not too bad, not too bad. Nope, the only thing that's weird about this is that you can't see my paint. This is what I use. Trying to think of things that might be useful for me to talk out on such a medium where I don't have as many live viewers as I would video on demand viewers. I can say that a couple days ago I made a post on Facebook, kind of passive aggressive, didn't name any names. And I'm pretty sure I got a lot of people that I thought I liked unfriending me. Now, this shouldn't really bother me, but it kind of does, for a reason that I'm sure a lot of people have encountered. A lot of it is, did this person really like me to begin with? Or did this person add me because they were genuinely interested in the things I had to say? Or was it just really cool to be connected to somebody from your past that you hadn't really thought of in a while? I mean, we don't really need high school reunions anymore. Because we have Facebook. But still, still heartbreaking. So I haven't really been back, but I am super curious. It's going to take a lot of willpower for me to not go in and check on the people I'm pretty sure I lost. And I didn't even really name names. And I've been thinking about it a lot. I probably shouldn't, but right, it's just, there it is. Okay. I am going to grab something that I really need to finish off this star, and then I'm going to move over to the frame around the eagle picture. That's pretty messy, but I don't care. Meh, right? But I want that sharp line. Sharp. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. So I need a new show to watch. I need a new show to watch because right now I am binge watching shows that I have already seen. And I don't like them much now. Right now I'm doing a kind of a mini rewatch of a show called Yellowstone. And the last time I watched it was probably 3 years ago. And these people, they were very intriguing. But now I just don't really like them. They are all horrible, horrible people. Okay. I've got some basic star stuff down. This one looks nicer than the other one. Okay. I'm going to clean up the lines on the other star. See, it's dry. This acrylic, it dries very quickly. And the edges here that are really messy, I think I'm going to end up taping off the star and doing a little extra there. Let's see, where do I need it? looks like, well, it sounds like my husband tried to let the dog out again. So this weekend, well, right before the weekend, we ran out of seizure medication for the dog. And so she went like 3 or 4 days without it because I ordered it and they said, okay, well, we have to get an approval from your vet. Okay, no problem. It's par for the course. It happens. And it took them 4 days. 4 days to get that refill approved. And in the meantime, I must have weathered 1 or 2 seizures a day. Luckily, those seizures were very short. In the beginning, when she first started to be medicated, it was really bad. So we were worried. We were worried that she would get back to that, and luckily she didn't. But still, it's really difficult to not be able to go anywhere because your dog might have some sort of episode. But she's fine now. But she likes my husband and his son even less now than she did before. So, I am her only human. It's a huge task to be a dog's only human. Now what I need to do is I need to take her to a doggy daycare. Get her socialized, not just around other dogs, but other humans. And at first I thought it was just dudes that she didn't like. But no, my dog is just particular. I also have a cat. He doesn't care about anything. Except food. Food is important. I took the tape off prematurely. Whoops. Thank you, Beach Doggy. I know that you're a dog person too. What are you gonna, yeah, I know. I think we'd be in big trouble if dogs spoke any kind of English. I mean, we are pretty certain that they understand most of what we say. They can pick out words. They understand tones of voice. They understand a lot, but they're still dogs. I mean, it's not like you can talk about computers or anything like that with a dog. Hey, do you like that food? Oh, yeah. What about this food? Oh, yeah. How about that one? Oh, I haven't tried it, but I like that one too. All right. Okay, I think I have what I need from these stars. I'm probably going to go over that a little darker. Yeah, dog body language. My dog does a lot of the side-eye thing. And when we're walking, that tail, yeah, she's not having any of that. See, that's just too bright. I kind of wish that my dog was not so uptight. So when I was growing up, we had a dachshund and a couple of cats, and they'd play. You know, that whole jumping on each other and maybe some bites. But every time the cat decides he wants to play with the dog just is like, yes, I love you. Oh my God, don't touch me. Because as soon as the cat gets that thing, that little twinkle, nope. That and the cat likes to groom Freddie. But I don't think the cat recognizes Fred as a dog. I think the cat sees the dog as another cat. So the cat will bathe the dog, and the dog tries to reciprocate by licking the cat. But see, the dog doesn't bathe the cat. The dog greets the cat with the face lick. And Bo is not having any of that. Once the dog wouldn't stop licking his face, and he just did that cat slap. Yeah. All right. I think I'm officially done with the stars for now. So tired of these dang stars. So tired of the stars. All right. Okay. So we have our stars. Where's my reference? Not perfect, but this is a painting. It's not a masterpiece. So I got to figure out what I want to do with the frame. And this frame does not look the way I want it to. So let's tape it off. And see where we can go with that. Oops. This paint is not wet because it is acrylic. Acrylic tends to dry very, very quickly. I do have an extender. No. Doesn't work any better than anything else. I'd love to go back to oil painting, but I think I gave my oil paints to my old college roommate. She was doing some art shows in the area, and I went, so I need to get rid of some art supplies. If an artist friend of yours says they want to get rid of art supplies, that's a red flag. You need to ask them if they're okay. Because I don't know anybody who gets rid of art supplies. And these were not cheap either, but they were old. They were big tubes of oil paints from when I was a student. And those tubes were not small. So I packed them all up and I gave them to her. And she gave me a lovely composition in return. But now I'm kind of missing those oil paints because I could really use a medium that doesn't dry so damn fast. And oil paints, well, these days, oil paints, you can get water-based oil paints, which I find an interesting concept. I don't want oil-based paints. I mean, I don't want water-based oil paints. I mean, I'll give them a shot. Do I have any artists out there who have used water-based oils? Because I am curious. Oh man, my husband is cooking. Damn it. He's like, I told you. I told you if you wanted to eat those leftovers, you can eat the leftovers. Now I don't want to. I want to eat what he's cooking. Still trying to teach the 22-year-old that lives in my house to not slam doors. I have a feeling all it's going to take is waking up Dad once in the middle of the night. Can I say anything? No, I'm a night owl too. But after 10 o'clock, I tiptoe. And no door anywhere in the house closes all the way. It's not being scared or anything. It's just my husband works really early hours, and when he needs to sleep, he needs to sleep. All right, where's my palette? Ooh. All right, I need to yawn, so we're going to look at Freddie for a second while I yawn. Of course, I'm still on the screen. Hey, Fred. I didn't have any caffeine today. That's okay. You don't need caffeine to function. I know I don't. I just need coffee. Ah, I hate it when that happens. Fingers slip. All right, here we go. Oh, good. That's on the paint. Tape. Yeah, let's change the color of this. Oh my gosh. I love how this color is turning out. It is close enough to the stars that I don't feel like I have to mix a whole lot of extra paint right now. I'm trying to get something a little bit lighter towards the top of this edge, just a little. Okay, so the last time I did an art stream on YouTube, this is funny. I went back. Well, it's funny to me. Nobody else cares. But I went back to the stats because I'm still learning how to read the stats. And it said that one person disliked my video. And I know for a fact that there weren't that many people looking at the video. It didn't have a whole lot of rewatches. But this downvote came during the stream. And my average view time from YouTube was like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm kind of, you watched this for how long and you decided I needed a downvote. Okay. Now I'm no stranger to downvotes, and I'll tell you why. A long time ago, when this YouTube channel was not my own, it belonged to the band. We performed with a band at an event, and it turns out that the lead singer had a stalker. And he found her video, because I posted videos of other musicians on my channel. And he found her video and he started commenting some really vulgar stuff. So I just deleted his comment and moved on. And this is when my channel was pretty new. And he went from video to video, and it turned out that instead of just attacking her, he would attack me too. Made me mad. I was pretty new to YouTube. I didn't know what this meant. I just wanted to share music videos of me and my friends making music, you know. But he was relentless. He found my Facebook page. He started writing all kinds of gobbledygook on that. How am I supposed to respond to that? They say, ignore it. So I contacted the woman who was his original target, and I said, hey, do you know this guy? And she's like, yes, here is the number of the police person who is investigating him. What? What are you talking about? She's like, yep, he's been after me for years and we haven't caught him yet. So his obsession with her cost me a YouTube page that I could have been using for all kinds of video. Instead, I was relying on my friends to post my videos on their channels. And then I just, link. But I just didn't And then the band split up. And that was terrible. But here I still have this domain and I have the YouTube. What am I going to do with it? I don't want to just abandon it, you know? So here it is, 15 years later since that incident. And now you're watching me do art. You're watching me do art, and on Mondays, you're watching me do music. Yeah, ew, yuck is the right beach doggy. They caught him. I think he got 6 years. And a ban from all internet uses at public libraries. So now if he's going to do anything, he has to buy a damn computer of his own. Which I don't think he can afford. But now I'm back. And I'm working on getting back into music. I'm working on figuring out what my art persona is. Stuff like that. And it's been pretty nice. But for a long time, I didn't enable comments on anything. So nobody could say anything on any of my videos. And of course, back then, there was the visible dislike count on all the videos. They removed that. For which I'm grateful, because that guy just kept creating new accounts and making new comments and doing more downvotes. Not fun, but life on the internet can have its challenges. Okay, so I have half of this. I would really like, once this is dry, to go through, I'm going to tape it and go through all of this. And I may also tape it off and do the cream colored thing in here. Let's look at that reference photo one more time. Now these lines that you see, that was me trying to get the picture onto the canvas. So I'm doing this mostly by memory. And it's not going to look anything like the picture. The picture is mostly reference for contrast and lighting, maybe a few shapes, but is it dry yet? Yeah, mostly. Okay. There is a music video that I have shown absolutely nobody. Nobody at all. And it's from our last show at the High Dive in 2019. Such a fantastic show. The only two people that weren't there from the band's history was, let's see, my second bassist, who was in England at the time, and my first drummer, who I had to fire. Which is unfortunate, but I was told by my first guitarist and my first bassist, we don't want to have a band with them in it, and I thought, oh man. Firing people in general is not fun. But when you're in a band, if you're close to people and you do things together, there's that bond that you have. And learning that a majority of people in the band don't like you or don't want to work with you or find you unreliable, that's a blow. That's like a breakup. And I felt bad to be the one to deliver the news. But at that point, it was considered my band. So, you do what you can. And she did a few things, a few independent things, and then disappeared. But it would have been nice to see her again. At least on the very last gig. And then when the band split, that was our last show as the band. I kind of felt weird for a while, you know? It kind of stung. And when I would run into them from other circles, like at the workplace we had in common and other music shows with mutual friends, it was just weird. I mean, you have to understand. I played music with this band for 13 years. And the member of the band that I was with the longest was the new drummer. So I had to fire the first drummer, who I had for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I'm not sure. And the new drummer was just incredibly excellent. Had a good kit, had a lot of experience, very creative, funny as heck. He had a great family. I watched his kids grow up. Let me tell you something. Watching other people's kids grow up, very strange. Especially when you've known them since they were little. But there came a point where we were apart for long enough where we didn't do anything outside of the band stuff. Like there were family events and social events that I normally would be a part of, but just didn't. I wasn't part of that world anymore. Another blow to my heart. I still love them. I still consider them my family. But you know what? I have cousins, first cousins, that I grew up with on the other side of the country. And we don't see each other very often. And it's not for the reasons you think. It has nothing to do with politics or family demographics or anything like that. It has more to do with we're just doing our own thing, you know. I'm going to close in on this taping thing just a little. And when you're family, people just kind of live their lives. They just go and do a thing. And I'll admit, I really do miss working with these guys. I miss my brothers. I miss my band brothers. I don't know if I'd want to make music with them again. I mean, I'd love to jam with them and maybe put together some stuff, maybe do some licensing stuff. Because you don't have to perform as a band to make music together. You can still be composers and collaborators. And I know we're a great songwriting team. So if you happen to be on YouTube at any point, you can check out my playlist, Trouble Fakers in the Wild. It's got some fun stuff in it. And you know, the music thing that I do on Mondays here streaming, you'll probably notice that I don't do a lot of originals. And there's a reason for that. Most of them I've been playing for years and years. I'm a little burnt out on them. And a lot of them I just don't know the chords. I could sing them, but I don't know the chords. I couldn't play them if I wanted to. I mean, there's some that I play on Mondays, but... And the thing is I still have fans. And when I play, they ask me to play these songs. Because they love them. They're wonderful songs. But I get tired of a lot of those songs. And it has nothing to do with whether or not I love them. It has to do with reminding me of the days that we started playing them in public. When we did farmers markets and dive bars and the occasional party. Things like that. No, I don't mean to bring you down. Not trying to. There is some bittersweet about not having my brothers around anymore. But we're all empty nesters now. So all that time spent raising kids, making rock and roll, a lot of them are looking at retirement, doing some traveling that they weren't able to do because of band stuff or kid commitments. They worked hard. I think they deserve the time not being in a band. But you know what? I still love them. And I am in this weird phase of my life where I'm telling more people that I love them. I'm telling friends that I love them. My dad and I, not a lot of I love yous there, not because we didn't, but it's just not something we did. Saying a lot of I love yous to my dad. Because I want him to know, right? He's 80. I need him to know. But I'm telling friends, I'm telling people I don't see very often. And you know, a lot of people, they say it back. And I'm very grateful for those people. Because there may be love all around you, but we don't always feel it. And often we'll doubt it. We will doubt the love others have for us. Or we think of love and we think of mushy, gushy, smoochy things. And that's not, no. Love comes in many different forms. And I know it sounds kind of mushy, but now hear me out. I was reading a comic book. And it was a Wonder Woman comic book. It's from like the New 52 or something. And in one of the panels, I guess somebody had asked her, says, how can you have love for these people or whatever? And she turned to this villain and she says, I love everyone. I love everyone. And because Wonder Woman holds a special place in my heart from my childhood, I'm like, I need to be like Wonder Woman. I need to find the love and share it. So there you go. I don't know you. I don't know most of you. But I love you. I love you for being here. No matter how long or short your stay is. Because it's nice to just spend time and hang out with people. And we don't have to chat. I mean, it's nice, but we don't have to. Just being here, that's good enough. It's more than good enough. Oh. Not as clean as I wanted that to be, but I don't think that was that clean to begin with. Okay. And that color is closer to the stars. Can you see this? It's making me crazy. Come on, you. You can see the gesso underneath that paint. Now, Wynne, why don't you clean up everything like that? Look at this. Look at that. That's not a star point. That's a Tinkerbell. See? There's white under there because this yellow, this warm yellow, it is very thin. It's very thin bit of paint, and you can see there are still pencil marks from when I was putting the original composition down. So anything I scrape off of here, it's going to come up white. So I got a couple of places here, but I really wanted the point on that star. All right, so here's what I'm going to do for my Twitch people. I need to run an ad. And I'm going to stretch. First, let's go look at Fred real quick. Aw, Freddie. And with that, I'm just going to run an ad for my Twitch people. Please hang out. YouTube folks, please get comfortable. Get an extra pillow. Let's see what we're going to do here, because I think I've got all of this figured out. And now I want to turn this upside down and see if anything has changed. Well, working upside down on a painting is always good. Pardon me while I raise my camera. I don't know if I can get my camera high enough to see the whole thing. All right, I'm going to play with my camera a little bit so we can see the whole thing. No! All right. There we go. Well, that doesn't look too bad. It looks, doesn't look great, but I'm not that much of a painter. I'm more of a sketcher and a drawer, and I need to get through this. I was thinking about using paint pens to get the little dog down here. Got a little dog, got a little dog, 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 dog. Yeah, I'm thinking I should at least put the outline down here in a paint pen. Because I've already got that up here with the eagle. Interesting. So now I need to find another pencil real quick and put in some lines for this background. And you know, I've seen a lot of people do mixed media stuff where they will use paint and crayon and markers. I've done that. I've done compositions with markers and paints. And these will just be guides for when I do paint. I will probably end up doing something like, let's see, what will I end up doing? Well, if you see that, there's like these lines. And I'll either erase them when I'm done, or I'll double down with the pencils. And you won't be able to see it too well, but you're not supposed to, because these lines are for me. Maybe when the paint's done and down, I'll just go back over it with some colored pencil. veering off the original photo. Because this was supposed to be the last line, but it is not. Okay. Did you know that there are some colored pencils that you can blend with rubbing alcohol? I use the Prismacolors. And they're waxy and they melt with alcohol, which means you can use hand sanitizer or a clear blender from like Copic. And I'm really tempted to do that right now. Just for bips and giggles. Because I'm trying really hard not to cuss. I should just go ahead and do it, but I don't feel like it. All right, let's see. Where is it? Okay. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to actually see this. I hope you can. And if you can't, I'll pull out a coloring book. And then you can see in real time how this works. Okay, so we have these dark lines, which are Prismacolors. Just your standard colored pencils. Actually, these are the Premier. These are the Premiers. They're very waxy. They blend pretty easy. So if you're in the market for colored pencils, don't get the cheap $5 ones off the rack at Michael's. Just don't do it. Get a simple Prismacolor or Faber-Castell. Simple, like, I don't know, a dozen pencils. The cheap pencils, yeah. I wish I could tell you more about how bad they are. But anyway, your lesson for the evening. This is made by the people who do that distressing thing in the stamp section. It says it's an alcohol blending solution. It's rubbing alcohol. Det är fint estampé på en kall alkohol. Pardon my French. So you can refill it, so it's not anything special. And this particular one has a brush end and a smaller brush end. So I'm going to use the smaller brush end. So in this case, since I don't really have anywhere else for it to go, nothing else to blend it into, it's pretty much gone. And I'm going to paint over this whole thing, so I'm not concerned with messing anything up. But see, I blended it out of sight. Oh, and now I've also washed my canvas, so now I have a nice clean yellow stripe there. Unintentional. Okay, so let's put this line back in there. I want something to go under this. One of the main reasons I put the pencil down. It's not just a guide, but I also kind of wanted that color to match too. So I'm going to add that. I know it's really ugly right now. I don't care. Let it be ugly. Just let it. Okay? Okay. Maybe. Now I'm gonna put my main camera on right now because I want to change mediums for a minute. There's only so much painting, and the painting is huge to me. Maybe I will put it on the easel next time I pull it out to work on it. And it's not anything super fancy. It's just a canvas board, like the kind you get in a package of 5 at your craft store. So I'm feeling the need to draw a little bit, so I'm going to draw for a few minutes. And I need my sketchbook, clearly. So let's look at Fred for like 30 to 60 seconds as she's waiting so patiently for me. I'm going to be right over here digging through a bag with my sketchbook in it. Okay. Good girl, Freddie. Good girl. All right, first, I need to clean some stuff up. Because I have this, I'm going to put it away. My Stay Wet palette. That, right there, that blue shiny thing, it's still wet. And it is 2 weeks old. And let's see. The This does not need to be cleaned. Does this one need to be cleaned? No. All right, good. I've been working on doing sketches of kids. I'm not very good at drawing children's faces, but I wanted to try. You just go to the internet and go, cute kids. And it shows you pictures of cute kids. And I did this cool little thing where I was writing down the things that I was either trying to get rid of or trying to bring to me. So for this, it's listening to my body, focus on building strength, just lots of stuff. And there was more down here, and, well, I cut it out and I burned it in a fire. In a fire. And here's a fun little comic that I did. It's on my Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, my Instagram is Wynne Blue. And you can find this comic and a bunch of others. I also did my Christmas comic, which was 8 really long pages. This is one of the panels. Oh, and here's another moon thing that I did. Things I'm grateful for. My husband, being able to create, all my friends, wanting to manifest money, manifest strength, love, and trust. Have you ever done something like that where you want to just write down things to commit them to memory? I do stuff like this. So I have a new moon on Sunday, not a new moon on Monday, for all you Duran Duran people out there. So I have to think about, I don't know, what is it that you do on new moons? New moons to me have always been new beginnings because everything is dark and the light comes back, right? So let's see what kind of things we need to think about. Let's bring out our erasers. And we'll do a quick sketch while we're figuring out where the rest of the evening will take us. All right. So, I'm just going to draw a picture because I feel like it. And it's going to be kind of cartoony, so. Okay, that's an eraser. I don't want to draw with an eraser. right. Let's see. I don't have my big eraser in here. Looks like I'll have to bring out the vacuum. I got it off the internet. It works pretty good. So I might scan this later and, I don't know, do a little ink something with it. It's kind of fun. Thank you, Vernon. I do appreciate that. And I'm glad you stopped by. Absolutely. Rock and roll. I wasn't quite sure where I was going to go with this. I wanted to create like a little warrior, and it just turned into a rock star instead. All right. Sitting down to draw. Oh, well, pencil. I've been looking for that for 2 hours. Well, we do some mellow stuff here. I've got some Lofi. I'm here every Wednesday. And you missed me putting together a painting, because I've been working on a painting for quite some time. Yeah, right. Adding some shadows. So tell me, Vernon, do you stream sometimes? Or do you learn from your streamers? Oh, good. I always like to see other art streamers. I'm getting the hang of the way that they operate. Partners in streams. Oh, okay. Awesome. I love that. I'm just looking up something real quick. Oh, there we go. Okay. Getting a little bit more shadow and stuff off of this guy. Minnesota, long winter nights and short days. I know someone from Minnesota. They spent almost their entire summer there. I missed them very, very much. Ah, cozy core. Yeah, follow for follow, man. Let me give you a follow back. Uh-oh, what have I done? Oh, I did. Oh, okay, wait. I'm getting there. Finally, hit the right button. So what exactly is cozy core? I don't think I'm familiar with that. And I know you're typing and drawing, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to draw. And what's cool about having another artist hang out a little bit is that as I'm finishing up, I have another artist to raid into. My YouTube people, they may not know anything about the raid thing. There is something that if you have like 1 billion followers, they'll let you send people to another stream. I'm not that cool. I'd love to be cool, but I'm not that cool. So let me put a name and a date on this. I've got to keep on rolling, man. Here we go. Adding core to anything just makes it a vibe. I'm feeling it. Like I just learned recently about a movie genre called mumblecore. Does everybody in it mumble? No, apparently not. And I've seen many of these movies that are considered mumblecore. What a weird genre. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. Streaming keeps you on task. I feel that way 100%. I like having a little bit of music in the background, so I go down to the YouTubes and I grab some copyright-free Lofi and I turn on my reverb. Yeah, I got a lot of reverb going on right now. I'm feeling it. So let's see what I can do here. I don't have any masking tape, nothing big enough. I have this skinny stuff. This is not going to do what I want it to. When in doubt, grab Post-its. Okay. I just want to not draw all over these bulky spots. I can connect the dots later. I dual stream to Twitch and YouTube. YouTube is new to me. Well, it's not. Oh yeah, I drew little emotes of me. But I used to do a lot of music stuff, and earlier in tonight's stream, I explained why I don't. Why I'm just now reviving my YouTube. I managed to inherit somebody else's stalker, so I'm thinking about making a video about that, posting it up there. So I'm redoing it. I'm doing Music Mondays and Art Wednesdays and stuff like that. Let's see. And I got the wild hair to do my own emotes of myself because a friend of mine has some emotes of herself. They look very different though. I really hope those post-it notes weren't important. Because I tore them up good. I've got an emote of my little dog. I feel like Marshall stacks don't really look like this. I don't care. These are not foreground devices. All right. I don't want these to be too bold. I want them to be in the background. Let's get the blend on. Okay, so Vernon is over there doing his thing. Her thing. Their thing, their thing. He, they. Oh, okay. I am a she, her. Those are my preferred pronouns. I don't always get other people's right, but I try. You never know when it's a really sensitive thing. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if I don't really know them. I mean, that seems kind of rude. Do a little bit of smudge in here. Oh gosh, how long have I been a streamer? On this platform, I think I've done, on Twitch, I've done 3 Inktobers. Yes, 3 Inktobers. So about 3 years, maybe? And I didn't become an affiliate until this year. No, last year, I think. And I have a friend of mine who has been a streamer on this platform for a long time, much longer than me, and she was in my band. I skipped an Inktober. I couldn't do it. I skipped it, and then the next year I went, you know what, I'll do it. I have added music streams. I was in a band for like 13, 15 years. So I do have a music stream on Monday. But I don't do primarily music. I still have to find something that actually pays me money. So I do a little bit of both. And I count the numbers and the analytics, and that tells me where my side hustle needs to go. I've done a couple of zines. Every year I illustrate my Christmas cards. Because, you know, some people, they do Christmas letters, and as fun as they are, most of them are in Microsoft Word. Did rock music. Let me just throw my Bandcamp up. Zines and Christmas cards. This year I did a booklet. Last year I did a zine. I think I may tone it down next year because I can't fit everything on a 4x6 card anymore. So I'm looking into doing some different band stuff. I've got a little trio of people who want to do covers. That's fine. I can do covers. I'm cool with that. And then I have a project that hasn't quite got off the ground other than lyrics. That I'm hoping for metal, but we'll find out. Metal is a very physical genre of music. I compose on guitar and sometimes electronically. I use a drum machine to get some of the basics out. But I am primarily a frontman that can play guitar. However, I've been told that I'm a much better frontman than guitarist, which is fine. You'd be surprised how many people just don't want to be the frontman. They just don't want to. Like, okay, well, I write the dang songs. I'm going to be the front man. And I know some people think, oh, well, singers are a dime a dozen. They might be. They might be a dime a dozen. I didn't even notice there was an ad break going on. Suck. Oh well. We do what we do because we got to do what we do. I need darker pencils. But if I use darker pencils, I'm going to end up wearing them. So one of my favorite streamers, he's been streaming every day for the last 6 years. And he is a guitarist and he plays bass also. And he's online right now. But I have already spent 3 hours playing bass today. And usually, if he's playing bass, I play right along with him. Because he's playing rock band. No, not rock band. He's playing rocksmith. And I can always use a little help with my bass skills. Oh, bass, yeah. Man, that'll tear your fingers up so hard. It's kind of nice doing art after bass day because, well, I use the other hand instead of my fretting hand. Nice mix. It's a really nice mix. Well, there's something to be said about being able to write songs. And the ladies that I'm with right now who normally do just covers, just hanging out doing covers. One of them said today in our little jam session, she says, I've been writing song lyrics. And I thought, really? That's actually really cool. Yeah. Get more done solo, absolutely. If I could play my instruments better, I would totally go solo. But I also like playing in a band. There's a camaraderie there. You look out for each other. It's like having a little musical family. I guess it all depends on the relationship you develop with your bandmates, you know. Like I was saying earlier in the stream that I watched my bandmates' kids grow up. And one of their kids, the youngest, I think she's graduating from college this year. College. Okay. There we go. Little dude hanging out with some stuff. A ska band. Oh my gosh, I love ska. I was first introduced to ska at university, in the Student Union building. It was a band called Skank and Pickle. I have 3 of their albums and a t-shirt. They were a lot of fun. Oh yeah, you know Skank and Pickle. Oh my gosh, I don't know many people other than my husband who know who Skank and Pickle is. Oh man, after that first gig, we could not stop singing I Miss the Bus. I miss the bus. I miss the bus again. And back when I was still riding the bus to get to work, if the bus was late, I'd sing that song. It's been a long time since those guys were active. All right, what are we in for? Okay, there we go. What did I go to university for? Fine arts. Went to university for fine arts. Got my piece of paper. Ended up in computers. Because I got to pay the rent, and it was the 90s. Oh, that is not an easy, graphic design is not an easy field to get into. At least it wasn't when I graduated. And you know, I didn't get into, I didn't join a band until I was in my 30s, really. I was in a band in college. But they wanted to do punk music, and I was not a punk rock voice. Now one of them still plays punk, and the other one plays accordion and mandolin in another project. I'm like, okay, Oh, they are. One of them went on to form the punk band Sicko, and now is the organizer and coordinator for the Seattle Punk Pop Festival. Yes, they can. Okay, there we go. What is today? The 14th of January. Feels like September. $2027. Woo, there we go. Click something on my screen. What? What's that? Let's make sure I've got my little dude here. There we go. Okay. So I'm not going to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to raid out. I don't always think that it's necessary to do that. Even though I am told, always raid, I'm not going to do that. And I have been on for almost 4 hours. My hands are tired and I'm hungry. Let's go take a look at my little buddy over here. Oh, she's awake, chewing on her little feets.
How you doing, Freddie?
She had a bath a couple of days ago. Good girl, Freddie. Good girl. Oh, still got my painting apron on. Good grief. So I'm going to close out tonight for my friends on YouTube and my friends on Twitch, everybody who stopped by to do the video on demand, as well as hung out from time to time during the stream. So my next stream is going to be Monday, same time, same place, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, hopefully I will have recovered from all the things that I've done over the weekend. It's very nice meeting you too, Vernon. I'm really glad you dropped by, and I hope to see you again. I did put a follow, so I am going to get notifications. So be good to yourself, be good to each other, and let someone else be good to you. I want you to be happy, so you guys do that, all right? I'll see you later.